Welcome back to the channel Numismatic Coins, coin lovers and history hunters. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about American coins ever made, the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, specifically top 6. First up, the 1942 Wheat Penny with no mint mark, and yes, even in dirty, circulated condition. Many people find this coin in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections and immediately wonder, backhand index pointing right, is this worth anything today? Backhand index pointing right, should I clean it? Backhand index pointing right, could this small copper coin change my fortune? Stay with me till the end, because the answer might surprise you. The history behind the 1942 Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1942, the United States was deeply involved in World War II. Every piece of metal mattered. Copper was critical for ammunition, wiring, and military equipment. That makes 1942 a historically powerful year for U.S. coinage. The no mint mark version means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year to keep the economy moving during wartime. Magnifying glass tilted left design details that matter. On the front we see Abraham Lincoln's profile, strong, calm, and timeless. On the back, two wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and growth. If your coin has no letter below the date, a brown or dark copper tone, heavy wear, dirt, or stains, you are likely holding a circulated 1942 Philadelphia Wheat Penny. Warning: dirty condition. Is that bad? Here's something many people don't realize. Backhand index pointing right dirt does not automatically destroy value. Backhand index pointing right cleaning can destroy value. Collectors prefer coins exactly as they are found, even if they're dark, worn, or dirty. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can lower collector interest permanently. So if your 1942 Wheat Penny is dirty, do not clean it. Money bag. So what is the real value today? Let's talk facts, not myths. In today's coin market, heavily worn/dirty condition. Backhand index pointing right value, 5 cents to 25 cents USD. Average circulated condition. Backhand index pointing right value, 25 cents to $1 USD. Nice detail, original color. Backhand index pointing right value, $1 to $3 USD. Now listen carefully. The standard 1942 no mint mark wheat penny is not ultra-rare. Its value comes from history, demand, and condition, not from fantasy prices. Because of rare errors. Some extremely rare 1942 pennies exist with wrong metal compositions, minting mistakes, transitional planchet errors. Those coins are extraordinarily rare and usually already certified by professional grading companies. If your coin is just dirty with normal wear, it is not one of those. Classical: why this coin still matters. Even at a modest value, the 1942 Wheat Penny represents America during World War II. The last years before copper shortages. A design that ran for nearly 50 years. This is not just a coin, it's a piece of American survival and strength. If you're a collector, backhand index pointing right, keep it as part of U.S. history. If you're selling, backhand index pointing right, group it with other wheat pennies for better value. If you found it randomly, backhand index pointing right, congratulations, you found real history in your hand. The 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark, even in dirty condition, may not make you rich overnight, but it connects you directly to one of the most important eras in American history. And sometimes, that connection is worth more than money. Next up, today we're diving into one of the most common yet surprisingly interesting U.S. collectible coins ever made, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny. We'll talk about what it is, how to identify it, and most importantly, how much it's worth today, especially in dirty or circulated condition. Let's get started. Pushpin cut to close-up shots of the penny's obverse and reverse. Speaking host. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was the official 1-cent coin of the United States from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president, in this case, Abraham Lincoln, on the front. On the back are two stylized wheat stalks symbolizing prosperity. The last year of this iconic design was 1958, and in 1957 the U.S. Mint struck these pennies at two locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver with a small D mint mark under the date. That's the one we're talking about today. Coin trackers. Artist palette show graphic, 1957 penny specs, bronze 19 3.11G. Speaking host. Over 1 billion of the 1957 D wheat pennies were made, so they're extremely common in circulation. But that doesn't mean they're worthless. Let's break down their value. Alright collectors, if you pull a dirty 1957 D penny out of your pocket change, what's it actually worth? The good news is that even worn or grimy coins have some value beyond face value, but how much really depends on condition. Insert on-screen chart, circulated grade versus value. Speaking host. For a typical 1957 D penny that's been in circulation for decades, meaning it's worn, maybe a bit dirty and shows age, you're usually looking at a value roughly between 10 cents and 50 cents in today's market. In many cases, it'll sell for about 15 cents or so, simply because so many were made. Extremely worn examples might be closer to copper melt value, but they're never 1 cent anymore. Here, the breakdown. Sparkles typical circulated dirty. Very worn, details hard to see, about 10 cents to 25 cents. Moderately worn but identifiable, about 15 cents to 50 cents. Backhand index pointing right. Some online price guides list common circulated coins at around 15 cents on average in today's market. Remember, coins that have been cleaned, scratched, or damaged often fall back to their metal value only, which for copper pennies is a few cents, often around 2 to 3 cents, since collectors don't like cleaned coins. Now here, where things get fun. Even though most 1957 D pennies from circulation aren't worth much, there are some exceptions if you dig deeper. Pushpin B-roll, magnifying glass on a penny. Speaking host. With uncirculated or higher quality coins, meaning very little wear and original luster, values go up. Common uncirculated examples can sell for a few dollars, and top-graded ones can exceed $20.50 or more. Coin trackers +1. Light bulb host. Also, yes, rare coins do exist. Some collectors have sold exotic varieties and errors of 1957 coins for hundreds or even thousands at auction, but that's not normal for the everyday penny you find in your pocket. Those super rare coins have unique errors, off-center strikes, or double dies, again, very uncommon. Numismatics 101. If you're deciding whether a coin is collectible or just spare change, here's what to look for. Heavy check the mint mark, the small D under the date. Heavy look at the wear on Lincoln's cheek and hair, more detail equals higher condition. Heavy, is it dirty, scratched, or corroded? If so, it's probably circulated and worth only modestly more than face value. Pushpin cut to example coins in different grade. We also recommend keeping coins in their original state if you plan to collect or sell later. Cleaning them usually lowers their value significantly. U.S. Coins Guide. So what's the final takeaway? If you find a 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny in dirty circulated condition, congratulations. You likely have a small piece of U.S. history worth more than a cent, often around 10 to 50 cents in today's market. With better condition and collector interest, the value can be even higher. But the biggest lesson in coin collecting, condition matters more than age. Next up. Today, we're talking about one of the most searched and misunderstood U.S. coins in the world. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, especially when it's found in dirty or worn condition. This coin has sparked rumors, viral videos, and wild claims across the internet. Some people believe it's worth thousands, even millions. But what's the real truth? Stay with me till the end, because by the time this video finishes, you'll know exactly what this coin is, what it's truly worth, and when it can become valuable and when it cannot. History of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1952, the United States was recovering from World War II. Copper was still an important industrial metal, and pennies were being produced in huge numbers. The 1952 wheat penny was minted at Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D. San Francisco S. When a penny has no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And yes, millions upon millions of these coins were made. Why people think the 1952 no mint mark penny is extremely valuable. Here where the confusion starts. People often hear, old coin equals rare. Dirty coin equals hidden treasure. No mint mark equals special. But age alone does not make a coin valuable. Most 1952 wheat pennies were heavily circulated, used daily for decades, ended up scratched, dirty, or worn down. A dirty condition coin usually means heavy wear, loss of sharp details, lower collector demand. So let's be very clear here. Actual market value of a 1952 wheat penny, no mint mark. In today's US coin market, values are approximately very dirty / heavily worn condition. Heavy $ 3 cents to 10 cents. Average circulated condition. Heavy $ 10 cents to 25 cents. Nice circulated condition with visible details. Heavy $ 50 cents to $1. So if your coin is dirty, scratched, and worn, it is not worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. And that's the truth many videos don't tell you. When can a 1952 wheat penny become valuable? Now listen carefully, this part is important. A 1952 Lincoln wheat penny can become valuable only if it has a major minting error, a rare die variety, or extremely high-grade condition. Examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, wrong middle planchet, misaligned dies. These are very rare, and most people will never find one. If such an error exists and is verified by a professional grading service, then yes, the value can rise into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But without errors, a dirty 1952 penny is simply a common collectible, not a fortune maker. Why these coins are still worth keeping? Even though the price is low, this coin still has value in history. It represents post-war America, the final years of the wheat penny era, a time when coins were made mostly of real copper. Many collectors keep these pennies for albums, for long-term collections, for educational purposes, for their connection to American history. Sometimes a coin story matters more than its price. Final warning to coin holders. If someone tells you your dirty 1952 penny is worth millions, be careful. Do not sell your coin in a rush to unverified buyers based on viral claims. And do not clean your coin. Cleaning destroys collector value permanently. Final thoughts. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, especially in dirty condition, is not rare. But it is real history in your hand. Its true value today is small in dollars, but big in lessons about coin collecting, patience, and truth. Next time, what if I told you that a small, dirty old penny sitting quietly in your pocket, drawer, or piggy bank could be worth far more than 1 cent? Today, we are talking about one of the most searched and misunderstood coins in U.S. coin history, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, especially when found in dirty or circulated condition. Many people throw these coins away without a second thought, but some collectors know exactly what to look for. Stay with me till the end because the truth about this coin might surprise you. History and background. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birth anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1944, the United States was still deeply involved in World War II. Copper was a critical metal needed for ammunition and military equipment, so the U.S. Mint had already experimented with steel pennies in 1943. In 1944, the Mint returned to bronze composition using recycled copper, often from military shell casings. This makes 1944 pennies historically important even if many were produced. No mint mark. What it means. If your 1944 wheat penny has no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 1944, which is why most of them are considered common. But common does not mean worthless. Dirty and circulated condition, does it matter? Many people ask, if my 1944 wheat penny is dirty, scratched, or worn, is it still valuable? The honest answer is yes, but within limits. A dirty or heavily circulated 1944 wheat penny does not lose its historical value, but it does affect its market price. Collectors care about detail, originality, and errors more than shine. Never clean your coin aggressively. Cleaning can reduce value, not increase it. Today's market value, realistic dollar prices. Let's talk real numbers in today's market. Backhand index pointing down. Very worn/dirty condition. Backhand index pointing right around 5 cents to 25 cents USD. Average circulated condition. Backhand index pointing right around 25 cents to $1 USD. Nice detail, natural color. Backhand index pointing right around $2 to $5 USD. So if your coin is just a normal 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark, even in dirty condition, it is not worth thousands or millions. But here are where things get interesting. Rare ERRORS, the real treasure. Some 1944 wheat pennies are extremely rare, and these are the coins collectors dream about. The most famous one is the 1944 steel wheat penny. Warning: this is an error coin, struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. If you ever find a 1944 penny that sticks to a magnet, that is a big warning sign. A genuine 1944 steel wheat penny can be worth. Backhand index pointing right $75,000 to over $250,000 USD, depending on condition. These coins exist in very small numbers and are usually authenticated by professional grading services. How to check your coin at home. Before spending or selling your coin, check the date carefully. Must say 1944. Look for no mint mark under the date. Use a magnet. Bronze will not stick. Do not clean the coin. If something feels unusual, get it professionally checked. Final message: emotional close. The 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny is more than just old pocket change. It's a silent witness to wartime America, a piece of real history that passed through countless hands. Most of these coins are modestly priced today, especially in dirty condition, but the possibility of rare errors keeps collectors searching every single day. So the next time you see an old penny, don't ignore it. That small coin might not make you rich overnight, but it could still tell a story worth far more than 1 cent. Next time, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny. Why is it so cool? What's it worth in today's market, even if it's dirty or worn, and could you be holding real money without even knowing it? Let's start with some history. The Lincoln wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958 and features one of the most iconic portraits on U.S. coins, President Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back. Numismatics 101. The 1958 version was minted in Denver, and over 800 million of these pennies were produced, making it one of the most common wheat cents ever struck. Coin trackers. But even though it's common, that doesn't mean your coin is worthless. Far from it. Light bulb section 2, modern value, what it's worth today. Host. Now we come to the big question: how much is a 1958 wheat penny worth today? The answer depends almost entirely on condition and whether or not your coin has something rare going for it. Let's break that down. Value Guide 2026 estimates. Dirty and heavily worn, circulated. Most 1958 pennies in everyday change are worth around 10 cents to $1. That's more than face value but not a fortune. Bullion Shark. Clean, better detail, collectible condition. If your coin has clearer detail and less wear, it might be worth a few dollars, especially if it still shows some original color. Coin trackers. Uncirculated or high grade. Coins that have never been used and still look new, especially with original bright red copper color, can sell for $2 to $250+. Coin No. Exceptional auction pieces. Believe it or not, some high-grade MS-67 Plus examples have sold for $3,000 or more at auction. Coin no. So even though most are common, the condition matters extremely. Magnifying glass tilted right section 3, dirty coins versus clean coins. Host. Now let's talk about dirty coins like the ones you might pull out of your pocket, a jar, or a roll of pennies. Dirty doesn't always mean worthless. In fact, a dirty penny that hasn't been cleaned or scrubbed can sometimes be worth more than a shiny one that's been artificially polished. Collectors hate cleaning because it damages the surface and reduces value. So if your coin is just dirty from age, that's often a good thing in the collector world. But here are the key. Always try not to clean old coins yourself. Cleaning can lower their value drastically. Fire Section 4, Rare Varieties and Big Money Coins. Host. Now what about really valuable 1958 pennies? There are rare error varieties like double die obverse pennies that can fetch huge prices. One 1958 double die penny has even sold for over $1 million at auction. That's not a 1958D regular penny, but it shows just how crazy numismatic values can get. Fun Times Guide. But those are extremely rare and usually come from the Philadelphia Mint without a D mark. Still, if you're curious whether your coin might be one of these special ones, we'll cover that later in this video. Pushpin Section 5, What to look for in your coin. Host. So what should you look for if you've got a 1958 D penny? Heavy is the D mint mark clear under the year. Heavy are the details on Lincoln's face still visible. Heavy, can you see the wheat stalks clearly on the back? Heavy, what color is the coin, bright red, red brown, or brown? Coins that still have a lot of original detail and natural color are the ones that bring in the best prices. Money Bag Section 6, Selling, Tips and FAQs. Host. If you think you have a valuable coin, here's what to do next. Pushpin, don't clean it. Cleaning reduces collector value. Pushpin, take good photos. Professional buyers want clear shots of both sides. Pushpin, consider a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC if you think it's high value. And remember, coins can change value over time. What's worth $10 today might be worth more in a few years if collector interest goes up. Thinking Face closing final thoughts. Host. So, is your 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny worth money? In most cases, yes, especially compared to its 1-cent face value. But whether it's worth a few cents, a couple $100s, or thousands really comes down to its condition and rarity. Next up, what if I told you that a simple, worn-out 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, even without a mint mark and even in poor condition, could still hold surprising value today? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of America's most iconic coins, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a small copper coin with a big historical story and real collector demand. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. By the time 1956 came around, America was in the middle of a powerful post-war era. Factories were booming, families were growing, and these pennies were moving through millions of hands every single day. Now let's talk about the 1956 Wheat Penny with no mint mark. When a coin has no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the main mint of the United States. In 1956, Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of these pennies. Because of this high mintage, many people assume they are worthless, but that's not the full story. Even in dirty, circulated, or worn condition, these coins are still collected today. Why? Because collectors don't just look for perfection, they look for history, originality, and rarity within condition. A penny that has survived decades of circulation tells a story that brand new coins simply can't. In very worn or dirty condition, a 1956 wheat penny usually sells for around 5 cents to 25 cents, depending on demand and copper prices. That may not sound like much, but remember, this is still many times its face value. If the coin has clear details, readable date, and original copper color under the dirt, its value can jump to 50 cents to $1.50. Many collectors actually prefer coins that haven't been harshly cleaned because cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce value. Now here where things get interesting. Some 1956 wheat pennies were struck with minor mint errors such as weak strikes, off-center designs, or die cracks. Even if the coin looks dirty, an error can push its value into the $20, $50, or even $100+ range, depending on the type and visibility of the error. And if, by rare chance, the coin is in uncirculated or near-mint condition with full wheat lines and sharp Lincoln details, prices can reach $10 to $40, and professionally graded examples have sold for even more. So what should you do if you find one? First, don't clean it. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can destroy collector value. Second, check the date and mint mark carefully. No mint mark means Philadelphia. Third, look closely for errors, doubling, or unusual features. And finally, consider having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service if it looks special. The truth is, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny won't make you rich overnight, but it absolutely proves that even a dirty old coin can be worth more than you think. These pennies are pieces of American history, and their value continues to grow as fewer remain in collectible condition. So next time you see an old, brown, worn penny sitting in a drawer or coin jar, don't ignore it. That small copper coin might just be a survivor from a powerful era of U.S. history and a quiet treasure hiding in plain sight.